Hi BYD, I'm hot.
Okay, I've decreased the temperature by 1 degrees.
This is the BYD Dolphin, Singapore's most affordable EV, even though we've got record high COE prices right now. This car retails for $163,000, 888. So in this video, I'll give you a tour of the BYD Dolphin, both the exterior and the interior. We'll bring you to a nearby charging station, talk about the driving experience, and give you a final verdict at the end. Click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on EVs. First, you'll see that this car is coming in a Maldives purple color. There are four main colors offered by BYD in Singapore. We've got sand white, we've got urban grey, which are more neutral, unisex colors. Apart from this, we've also got a pink color. So four colors in total. Here's the front design. This is BYD's media test drive car. So thank you so much to the Vantage Auto and BYD team for allowing me to experience this car. The headlights down here have a more traditional look. You get the BYD logo over here. This car is a front wheel drive, so the motor is in front. There is no frunk in this car, unlike BYD's upcoming Seal, which we'll check out in the coming months. So let me show you what's in front later on. As we go on the side, you will see 16-inch wheels over here. So it comes in one size configuration. Unlike the Atto 3, which has Batman wheels, these ones are Eco Masters. They're Eco Masters because this is an EV. Like the Atto 3, the charge ports are here in front. So you click this button. It was raining this morning, so the Dolphin was swimming. And when it's swimming, one thing we noticed, even though the charge ports is closed all the time, there is a bit of water here. But don't worry, most of these charge ports, they have some water resistance. So you just plug this out, you get AC charging, and you plug the bottom out, you get DC charging. AC charging max speed is 7 kilowatts. DC charging maximum speed is 60 kilowatts. So if you find a DC charger that's more than 60 kilowatts, try to avoid it because you can only top up to 60. So you plug it back in. We will use this later in our charging stations. I really wish that EV brands just remove this. It's an extra step, but they do it for safety. You've here got a NFC logo because you can come in your car a few ways. One is to use the BYD app, which is seen in our Atto 3 review. You'll find a link for it above. There's also a touch card, so a BYD card to unlock the car with NFC. And lastly, if you want to go old school, car keys. You have lock, see, side windows go in, and you've got unlock. Very old school. By the side profile gives you a dolphin profile. It looks like a dolphin swimming forward. Even when you see the vents here, it looks like water droplets. Because this car has BYD's ocean theme. We've got the BYD Dolphin here, the BYD Seal sedan coming out end of this month in September. And let's go further down. Above, there is no glass roof or sunroof for this version, unlike the Atto 3 or the premium sedan. As we come back here, most BYD vehicles have the full brand name here to build your dreams. Now, the good thing is that you have an auto trunk. This auto trunk opens up space to give you 345 liters of space. If you fold down the two back seats, you get more than 1,000 liters of space. I've got my backpack here. I've got umbrellas over here. There are side pockets. So there is a tire seal on one side pocket. And on the left side pocket, we can keep our water bottles, small groceries. Decent space. There's also a little bit of hidden storage down here. One layer, two layer. So you can fit in a little bit more in there. To close this, press this button. And there we are. A bit slower, but it works. Now, let's go inside and check out the front seats. We'll see you inside. Welcome to the front of the BYD Dolphin. As you come in, you put your foot on the brake and there's a start-stop button over here. So you turn it on and the AC turns on. Now one thing I noticed is that for a new driver, if you're sitting down here in this vantage point, the left stop actually blocks the view from the start-stop button. But once you know where it is, it's like muscle memory of your hands. It's pretty easy. So over here in the interior, you've got buttons pretty similar to the Atto 3. On the left, you have your cruise control navigation. On the right, you've got media controls. You've got phone, media, audio, sounds. There is a voice assistant on this screen. So this 12.8-inch touchscreen has this voice assistant. So today is a hot afternoon after a rainy morning. I'm going to say, "Hi BYD, I'm hot."
Alright, the temperature is going down by 1 degrees.
So it's pretty cool. Or if I ask BYD, "Hi BYD, find nearby charging stations."
Nearby, which of these places do you want?
So it shows you nearby charging stations. However, BYDs cannot use Tesla charging stations yet. At least not in Singapore until they open up the non-Tesla EVs. So that's one way to find charging stations. They've got navigation here. In navigation, it is the map. They have their own 4G inside. There's a SIM card in here to navigate. And when you click on this charging icon, it will also show you the nearby charging stations. My one ask to the BYD team is to only include charging stations that allow this car to charge, because we cannot charge on Tesla locations. So it shows here the Tesla superchargers at 250 kilowatts. Of course, we can go to Shell Recharge, EV Mobility, and many other third-party spots. However, you notice there's a lot of Tesla charging stations. So the map works well. One cool thing that BYD has that Tesla screens cannot do is this. It swivels vertical because in China, there's an app store. So Douyin and all the different apps work better in a vertical orientation. Now, for a taller driver, this is cool as well. But if you're a more fun-sized driver, you're sitting lower, some drivers feel that the vertical screen may block their forward visibility a little bit. So by default, most drivers will drive with this horizontal screen. Over here, there's also a small driver's instrument panel. It gives me my range remaining 228 kilometers, 56% state of charge. And I've got my speedo, I've got my gear, so we are P right now. Now to change the gear is interesting in this car. The gear selector is actually down here, in this knob over here. So we go down D for drive, we go up for reverse, and it shows the 360 parking camera. Very simple, very good, it just works. And to park the car, there's a P button over here. You just click this button, and the car is on park mode. To introduce the other buttons over here, you've got this button for 360 degree cam. This button here will change your screen orientation. Horn, check it out. It's a horn sound. And here, on premium versions of the BYD Dolphin, this is a wireless charger. However, this one that's being sold in Singapore for $163,000 doesn't charge wirelessly. So you can just put your phone storage area. There is no additional area to open. So what you see is what you get. 2 cup holders, and at the bottom, a little bit of storage. Then you've got USB-C, USB-A. You've got the 12-watt chargers, the lighter charger. And you can pull this up to keep some extra things out of sight. That's our space in front. The pedals, if you notice the door handles, if you remember at Atto 3, the door handles were like bell bars. Like here, it's at the Dolphin's pedal. So you see, you pull the Dolphin's pedal and you close. On the right side, you got your mirror controls, your lock, your windows, and there is a triangle in the side mirror, blind spot indicator. Very nice and very simple. The aircon vents, they do give you a little bit of the ocean feel, the kind of decline right here. The material is pretty decent, everything's relatively well made. One thing that's surprising is that the glove box is pretty big. So you open the glove box over here. Look at the space, not bad. Simple plastic, but lots of space in this glove box. So we've seen what it looks like in the front. I miss having a sunroof. If you want that, you can get the Atto 3. Now let's head behind and check out the backseat space. Welcome to the backseat of the BYD Dolphin. Ample leg space, no transmission tunnel like most modern EVs. That means lots of comfortable, flat surfaces. There's a small pocket here. You can keep a cup or a drink. There are USB A and C chargers at the bottom. You've got your pocket. BYD has given a nice guide on the car to learn more about the Dolphin and their price list. So you can actually see behind here, There's one configuration for the Dolphin in Singapore, and the latest price lists are over here. So let's recover this. We've got two cup holders in the middle, and this is my daughter's child seat. So good for kids. She is enjoying it. She's been sleeping in the ride when we were driving it yesterday, back and forth from the mall for dinner. As we lie down, there are lights over here, touch lights. You just touch them gently. They're on and off. You've got handles, flipper door handles here as well, and side pockets, small side pockets, enough to keep one small mineral water bottle. Your legs can incline and go underneath the seats. So my shoes, my feet have a lot of resting space down here. Overall, for this price at $163,000, this is pretty good space for a small car. Now, let's go find an EV charging station. We're going to head back to the front seats. We're going to drive to a nearby charging station. Let's go to Great World, to the SP chargers. For every episode, we want to show you how many EV chargers there are in Singapore. So the most common myth is, for people who have not got an EV before, they keep on asking, how to find EV charging? Is it very hard? For every other EV owner I've met in Singapore, whether it's a Tesla or non-Tesla EV, they have no complaints and no major concerns about finding EV chargers. So let us show you the Great Wall EV charger. See you in front. One more thing before we go to the EV charger, let me show you the front as promised. Let me show you how it opens. Down here, there is a release latch. You've got to pull it twice. If you pull it only once, it will not open, so this is a safety feature. So once, twice. Let's check it out. As we lift this, you've got to just put this up. The car is running, the motor is running because it's still turned on. Here, you've got your wiper fluid. And here, actually there's a small space that you could have a small front component. So maybe BYD will introduce that in the future for their future cars. You can see the motor actually down here, the drivetrain is down here. And where you want to go, just cover this again and gently let it go. Another thing I want to share, because this is an EV, there's no engine and there's no petrol. Down here, we have a 45 kilowatt hour BYD Blade battery. Blade, because it's designed differently from the standard batteries, it passes the critical nail penetration test. The temperature stays steady even in a hard impact, which means the risk of fire is lower on BYD cars. The batteries are reliable. They've been used by public transport and private transport for many years in China, and I'm very happy that we're getting more safe technology here in Singapore to help raise EV adoption. Now, let's go charge the car. See you inside. Now we're going to navigate the Great Wall, and let us show you how to do that. Here in the home screen, we click on navigation, and you can type on the search bar, let's look for Great Wall. So it's the first result. And let's type here Great Wall City and click go. So this is BYD's built-in navigation. Now when we get there, we need to know where to find the SP chargers. It will not show on this map, so we've got the SP charging app in the list of all the charging stations. So I'm going to click on Great Wall, and you can see that they've got one AC and one DC available station. And it tells you the location here. It's at B3 Purple Zone, lots 318 and 324, near pillars E20 and 21. So let's go find it. This drive is going to be 5.7 kilometers, about 20 minutes drive. So it does not have wireless charger in this spec, only the premium versions have. So I'm just going to leave my phone here to charge. This is my backup in case I need Google Maps navigation. And put on the seat belts. We go to drive mode down here. And let's head off. You notice this sound? So on BYD, for safety, if you're driving below 30 kilometers per hour, you will hear this, like the blue SG UFO sound, that whine sound. The steering is light. So it's pretty easy to drive. It's like your driving school car. I think of this as an EV version of the Honda Jazz. This car is slightly smaller than the BYD Atto 3, slightly bigger than the Honda Jazz. Now there is no single pedal driving, so when I release the accelerator, it's still moving. I tap on the brake, and it comes to a stop. The car is quite silent, like the older Teslas. There you go, Honda Jazz next to us, our ICE counterpart. And when you have turn signals, this is the sound it makes. So again, as we come to a bump, I've got to tap into the brake. It's like driving an ICE car. I wish that more EV brands bring in single pedal driving as an option for us, because it's just so much more comfortable in start-stop traffic. So we're leaving the Meadows car park at Gardens by the Bay. We're already in the main roads. You notice the road noise, the wind noise. It's all pretty good. For a car at this price range, $163,000, no major complaints. Also want to talk to you about the range. This car is a WLTP range of 340 kilometers. But a lot of reviewers have found in the past 2-3 months test driving and owning this car that the real world range, interestingly, is higher than the WLTP range. So some people have been getting up to 380 kilometers of range, which is pretty impressive for a car this size. So I think this car is great for city driving. For road trips, you just want to be more intentional about planning for charges. The good thing in Singapore is that we've got so many EV chargers already. So that's really not a major issue for concern. And this is the map. It's pretty responsive. You can see the user interface as I pinch in and pinch out. It's not bad. This is the aircon control. You can bring this down by one. I'm not playing music so that we do not get copyright strike. The radio, the music, sound quality is decent on this car. No complaints. Now the acceleration for this car, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is 12.8 seconds. So you're not going to beat those really fast EVs like a Tesla Model 3, but this is good enough for everyday overtaking, lane changing, city driving. Since we're driving down a very long vertical road, let me also demonstrate that the screen can turn live while we're driving. See the map adapt to the screen, so we get to see more of our path. So I think the vertical screen is good when you're driving straight down like this. Here we are at Great Wall. This mall used to be called Great Wall City, this whole area. But now we just call it Great Wall. So when things are modern, it just gets shorter, right? Like Kentucky Fried Chicken, we just call it KFC right now. So the good thing about driving a compact hatchback like this is that even if you're in older buildings, narrow car parks, less worries. Easier to drive. Okay, we're going to go down to B3 to find SP charger. So let's see. Every time finding a new charging station is always an adventure. We found it. Oh, interestingly, there's another Tesla Model Y also charging at SP. We're going to use this AC43. So we're going to turn up. And actually, to decide between AC and DC, we should check our state of charge. So you can see over here in the instrument panel, I'm at 53% state of charge. So I'm going to go for DC because my AC charging speed is really, it's 7 kilowatts, and that's going to take us a bit of time. So let me go down further down and get the DC charger. So when you hear the SP charging station, how do you find the AC or DC? You look at the stall. On the left, you got AC43. On the right, you got DC50, and that's the one we're going for. Now our charge port is on the right, so there may be a chance the cable may not always be long enough. Let's find out. Okay, we're going to give this a try. Let's head down and see whether the cable is long enough to charge us for DC. First, I'm going to press P, and I'm going to press start stop. The car's turned off. I bring out my car keys and get my phone. Let's head outside and charge this car, or try to charge this car. Okay, moment of truth. This is the DC CCS cable. Let's bring it forward to the other side. Good news, it barely reaches. So over here, remove the AC charging, the DC charging, and you plug this in. just nice. If I reverse parked, it may be a little bit harder to reach for some EVs. So we got the guard in, that's step one. Step two. I click scan QR on the SP app. I scan this QR code. Here's the charging rate, 65 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm good. So it's up to 50 kilowatts, but our car can charge up to 60. So I click start charging. And it will take up to 30 seconds to activate. So let's wait. If you have the BYD app, you can see the state of charge and how fast it's charging. Otherwise, you just look at the SP app, wait for a while. You hear everything starting up. That's a good sign. And there you go. It shows us the battery is very bright in the screen, but if you zoom in the camera, you see it's 53% battery right now. It is starting to charge. And on the app, you can also see that it's starting to charge. Let's go back to the charge port and see if there's any indicators, and we'll do a wrap up of my verdict for the BYD Dolphin. Now, some EVs have indicator lights when they're charging, like the Tesla, the Hyundai, a lot of the premium brands. For this one, there are no indicator lights, so you just got to use the SP app or the BYD app to check that your car is actually charging. Or you can come over here and look at the instrument panel. So the instrument panel is showing that it's going to take us roughly about 49 minutes to charge. That means enough time for a quick Starbucks drink before we head out here. Over here. Okay. Final verdict time. What do I think about this car? What I love about this car is that it's making EVs more affordable in Singapore despite rising car prices. At $163,000, 888, there's not much to complain for this car. You get a lot. You get a quiet EV, good range, real world range of up to 380 kilometers. You've got decent charging speeds. You've got enough space, enough storage space. You've got good leg room. You've got good smart features, the BYD app. So I think this car is a great option if you're looking at a budget below 170,000 Singapore dollars. What do I wish was different about this car? I want BYD to bring in single pedal driving. It makes start-stop traffic, city driving, a lot simpler and easier. Some of this can be done through a software update, I believe, for some manufacturers. So hopefully BYD considers this for their future cars. On top of that, I wish there was an option to turn off EV sounds below 30 kilometers per hour. Reversing, we understand, because reversing could be a blind spot for some drivers. But going forward, hopefully that it is an option for drivers to turn on and off. Apart from that, I hope that the front would also allow us to get more storage space, because in Southeast Asia, we do a lot of reverse parking, which means that the front storage area is very useful to store our backpacks, our laptops, and our valuables. Let me know what you think about the BYD Dolphin. If you have any additional questions, let me know down in the comments. If you found this video useful, please click the like button. Hit subscribe to stay updated to more videos on EVs.